Have you ever tried to hold back a river? Not with dams or walls, but with your hands. You press, you strain, you beg it to slow down, and yet it flows anyway. We do the same with life. We grip our plans, our timelines, our expectations until our palms bleed with effort. But what if the deepest peace isn't found in control, but in surrender? Let me tell you a story about a fisherman named Kai. He lived by a wide, swift river that cut through the valley like a silver thread. Every morning, he rowed his small boat upstream, net in hand, determined to catch enough fish to feed his family. He knew the river's moods, the eddies, the shallows, the hidden rocks. Yet no matter how hard he worked, his nets came up half empty. His back ached, his spirit grew heavy. One evening, exhausted, he sat on the bank, watching the water rush past. A heron stood motionless in the shallows, one leg lifted, eyes fixed on the current. It didn't chase the fish, it didn't fight the flow. It simply waited, and when the moment came, it struck with perfect precision. Kai frowned. "How can you be so still," he whispered, "when the world is moving so fast?" The heron didn't answer, but an old woman sitting nearby did. "You're trying to catch the river," she said softly, "not the fish." Kai turned. She was wrapped in a faded blue shawl, her hands resting on a woven basket. "What do you mean?" "The river doesn't fight itself," she said. "It doesn't argue with the rocks. It doesn't curse the rain. It simply flows, around, through, over, until it finds its way to the sea. And in that surrender, it carries everything it needs." Kai shook his head. "But if I don't push, I'll drift downstream. I'll lose my way." "Or," she said, "you'll discover a new path." The next morning, Kai did something radical. He stopped rowing upstream. Instead, he let the current carry him. He drifted with the river, net resting in his lap, eyes open, breath steady. At first, panic rose in his chest. "I'm losing time, I'm failing." But he stayed. He watched how the water moved around boulders, how minnows darted in the calmer eddies, how sunlight danced on the surface like scattered coins. And then he saw them. Not in the deep channels he'd always fished, but in the quiet pools behind the rocks, where the river slowed, where the water was clear, where the fish gathered in abundance. He cast his net, not with force, but with trust. And for the first time in months, his boat was full. That night, he returned to the old woman. "You were right," he said. "I wasn't losing my way, I was being guided." She smiled. "The river doesn't need your control to be wise. It only needs your presence." You see, we treat uncertainty like a threat. We believe that if we don't steer every outcome, we'll drown in chaos. So we tighten our grip on relationships, on careers, on our own worthiness. We confuse holding on with being strong. But true strength isn't rigidity, it's resilience. And resilience isn't built by resisting the current, it's forged by learning how to float. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means stopping the war inside yourself. It means trusting that life has its own intelligence, that even when you can't see the path, the ground is still holding you. I've learned this in my own silence. There was a season when I believed my value depended on how much I could manage, how perfectly I could plan my life, how tightly I could hold my life together. But exhaustion taught me a gentler truth. Peace isn't found in mastery, it's found in release. So, today or tomorrow or in the quiet after this story ends, if you're gripping too tightly, your future, your worth, your sense of safety, try this. Place your hands on your knees. Breathe in and whisper, "I don't have to control the river. I only need to learn how to float. You are not adrift. You are being carried. And in that surrender, you will find a stillness deeper than any storm. If this story brought you relief, share it with someone who's tired of fighting the current. And if you'd like more stories like this, subscribe to The Inspired Thinker. Tap the bell so you never miss a moment of peace. Until next time, breathe with the river, release with grace, and remember, you were never meant to hold the water. You were meant to flow with it.